Hey, and welcome to the next episode in our steering wheel series. So far, if you've sat through and watched all of these things, thank you very much for taking the time to look through the unboxing for the Elite pedals, the Elite load cell, and then the setting up. Now, the setting up was worth it. It was a long-winded process, but yes, it was very well worth it. And this has all led us up to this point now, which is the wheel. So I've got the box in front of me, and it is ginormous. Obviously, I can't have this on screen all the time because, I mean, you know, all it's got to be is a little bit higher, and you can't see me. So effectively, what is this wheel? Well, it's a steering wheel, first and foremost. So on the outside of the box, we have some bits here which tell us what it is. So at the top of the steering wheel, you have a light stripe for revs. You have a tuning display. You've got the rev lights on top of the unit itself. It's a single drive belt. It's also a brushless motor, which is apparently good, better than brushed motors. It's not quite direct drive, but that's a whole another level of steering wheels. This isn't quite an entry steering wheel. This is the next level up, I would say. So rather than being a absolute nut for steering wheels, this is in between, the happy medium between the cheaper end but cheaper entry point to, you know, the other ones. So then we have exchangeable button caps, which I'll show you about. We've got a semi-quick release. It says it's quick release, but it's semi-quick release, and you'll see why. We've got a mode button for changing between PC, PS4 and compatibility mode. You've got a handbrake port. The wheel does offer you 1080 degrees of rotation, which is good. It's got leather grip, and it's also got a table clamp, which is good because that is what I'm going to be using it with. I'm trying to keep the actual setup as realistic as possible, so I'm not using any kinds of clamps or anything like that. I'm using stuff that you would have, or hopefully have, at home. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pop this on the floor and start opening the box. So we're greeted with a white box on top, which is there, and then we've got our instructions, which tells us the contents of what we should have inside this box. So we've got that there, and then we've got that there. So I'm going to concentrate on these two bits first. Let's have a look, see what's in our little box of stuff here. So, okay, I think this could just be, no, I stand corrected. So, in one, comment down below if you know that reference, is a plug. One plug. In two. Try not to absolutely destroy all of these bits. We have another plug for if I wanted to take it away to America or any place where they do the 2-pin variety. So they've supplied a 3-pin and a 2-pin, which is pretty good because then you're not worried about everything else. So we've got little washers. I'll have a look at the thing in a minute. We've got almost like a rubber gasket seal there. And then we've got a selection of button caps for you to use, I guess. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to check to see what we should have. So yes, we have button caps for the Club Sport steering wheels, which is those. So if you have, it's got replaceable wheels. So if you've got a Club Sport steering wheel, you can use those ones. Happy days. The rubber seal is an O-ring, which I'm sure will come in handy. And those aren't on there. Never mind. And then obviously you've got the USB port that goes from the unit, I'm guessing, all the way to your console. Let's just check. Yeah, just the USB connection cable. So that's what was in there. So now we're going to open up this box, which contains stuff. Okay, what we got over here? Oh, it's pretty snazzy. It's all connected via sellotape. So we've got an Allen key and a screw. Ta-da! And then we have our wood. Yeah, it's probably best to take that a bit off. Out a little bit. Come away with you. Here we have all of our extra buttons. There are a couple missing. I'm guessing that you don't need those ones. So I'll show you those again in a little while. But then we have the bag. You're greeted with the Fanatec logo as you pull this out. Nothing else is in there. Can you tell what it is? No? Get off. Go on. Don't, please. Stay. So this, obviously, is the wheel. And look at that beauty. Now, I want to come closer to you, but this ginormous box is in the way. So, look at that. Just look for a second at that. We're just going to admire this for a moment with my eyes, tired eyes above. So what we have is we have nice leather with some felt around the top. This is the top thing. This basically allows you to do setup on the fly and shows you your rev lights. All the buttons you should need for being a PlayStation player. L2, R2, R3, L3, share, options, X, square, triangle, circle. Oh, can you hear that click? So it's not over the top click, it's just a nice click. And these all come off with a bit of convincing. For example, if you're playing on Project Cars and you want to set your windscreen wipers on, there we go. You've got a selection of buttons, and there's 3 different buttons sets that you can have on these or these. I'm not holding them up the right way, I know. And everything like that, which is great, especially when you've got like L3 and R3, which are your horn buttons, and they all pop off and pop back in, just with a little bit of convincing, because you don't want them to fall out halfway through again. So that's the wheel, and wow, that's a nice size wheel as well. So we're just going to pop that over here, and then we're going to try and get out the final piece of the puzzle. It's very weighty, it's quite nice. And I'll get that and I'll get that out, because there are other bits that need to come out. So let's pop all of these bits. I'm going to keep that out because I'm going to want to put the wheel back in there, obviously. So here is the Fanatec CSL Elite Wheel Base, and wowzers, would you look at that? That is beautiful. It's plastic, but it's got this brush-like texture on the front, not a problem. The CSL Elite and the Fanatec logos are raised, which is good. You've got the mode button and the power button. And then across the top you have your LEDs on there, which once it's all started. And you know what? Looking down the front of it, it looks like it's like a beastly car. So you've got that bit at the back there for mounting the table mount. And then at the back you've got your power, USB, handbrake, pedals, shifter. It's as simple as that. There's nothing else to it. So what have we got in the box? More cables. I swear, Fanatec must know that we love the cables. Nope, that's the power brick. That's your power brick. That is your power brick. I mean, I know Xbox people be like, yeah, that's what we're used to. But us PS4 owners, you know, obviously we're not used to having a power brick because it's all inside. Obviously the Project Scorpio, I know, has got an internal power supply, blah 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 blah, but the PlayStation hasn't had a power supply for like ever. And then this is the final piece of the puzzle, which is the table mount. Obviously, not to be too bad on the Xbox, Fanatec do a Xbox version of this wheel, and it does have quite a funky looking. It's got quite a funky looking front. In fairness, it's quite cool, but it's not. You know, personally, it's not my cup of tea, but it is quite cool. So this is the table mount, effectively. So that goes underneath that side there onto your table. And this bit, obviously, goes in there, I suppose. And then that goes in there. Bosh. And then the wheel. Essentially, the wheel can only go on one way. It's got, if you look down the thing, you've got, you won't be able to see it, but at the top here you've got a few lines, and that mixes up with this little nice bit there. So essentially you line it up and push it on, and then you have that is nice. Like that. Thankfully I haven't got to make those sounds because I have got games. So essentially that is the unboxing of this wheel. We are going to go through the actual setting it up in terms of computer and everything like that, and plugging it all in. But for now, because obviously there is a bolt that needs to get put in there, which I'm going to hasten to guess is that one there. But for now, this has been, come on, surely you just pull it off. Ta-da! This has been the Fanatec CSL Elite Series Wheelbase and wheel unboxing. So anyway, we'll see you next time for the next video in this series. But for now, take care, and we'll see you next time. Take it easy.